Okay, good evening, everyone. Today we only have two members. I don't know what happened. Maybe other friend they forgot the schedule, maybe Friday too busy for them. However, I would discuss to you something today together about exploring and developing emotional intelligence skill. And the section today would be on your leadership, focus on exploring yourself, a know your T self. We explore how self-awareness and emotional intelligence form the bedrock of effective leadership, especially in navigating conflict. So Francis, Tinlai, can you hear me well? Good.
Yes, can hear you loud and clear, teacher.
Okay, thank you, Francis and Tin Lai. So, if we don't have many members today, then we try to make our best for the first hour and a half, and then I may get the discussion into Google Classroom, and so people who miss our discussion can also work together on the discussion by submitting your writing on the Google Classroom. Okay. What do you think? Can we end our section soon? I mean, are we gonna do the lecture or discussion and we'll end soon for first and a half hour?
I
Okay.
think we can have the assignment by the Google Classroom, and then we can submit to you, teacher.
Yes, we will. I mean, the discussion will go by writing. You discuss
Right.
your information by writing, like usually we do by talking. For the second section is about your discussion. However, for today, you are going to discuss by your writing and submit to Google Classroom. Okay?
Yeah, sure.
Mm, thanks. Now, let's think about a leader you admired, what make them emotional intelligent, and ask about yourself, ask for yourself, knowing yourself, how self motivation knowing yourself can have strong emotional motivation inside you. And we are going to work through self-awareness, kind of intuition, and living in the now. As we discussed before, is about mindful living at the present time. And you can do self-talk to yourself and empathy to yourself also. Assemble, we may discuss how leaders use empathy and self-awareness during crisis communication. Now let's go. Now there's some analogy, a getting in shape, realization thing could be better. Then decision to explore, experiment, or change, and baby step that you would practice by try a new skill. Sometimes you feel discomfort because change is very hard, right? And what's the result? What the result that you made, And when you try another new skill, it can be more discomfort, but then you can have more result, better result, and you can celebrate it for yourself. So realization there is a different assistant if we choose to work for it. Now imagine your emotion are your sixth sense, Have you ever discussed about tuition, about the six sense that you have beside the five senses, a every human can have, you know, but then some people are very special, and you can be a very special person that you have intuition. And then for emotion is in dictionary, as you can see, emotion, move and motivate share the same Latin root equal to immovere or to move. So if we look at the word motivation, it includes the meaning of emotion. Then emotion are strong feeling and that repair the body for action, that impulse to act. So in the theory, it say emotional intelligence skill allow you to direct impulsive behavior in self-evaluated and goal-directed manner. Now, can you recall a time when emotion influence your behavior in a positive way or in a negative way? Then you can share with me and your friend about it. So we may face crisis. Sometimes we feel fear and it's make us flee or freeze. But emotional intelligence help us act intentionally, right? So you may think about a story that I want to listen to you later. Recall a time when emotional influence your behavior in a positive way. It means it's motivate you, you know, it's motivate you in a positive way that make you achieve, but you satisfy about that moment, about that periods of time in your life, and then you feel like fulfilled. Back to you later. Now, the philosophy of emotion is say when we look at our brain, that you see the red color at the center of our brain where emotional are stored. It's, it was stored, you know, hiddenly in our brain, in the very central of our brain. And then we say that is the heart of the brain. You know, the heart is it in our brain, not in our heart itself, but it's in our brain. And then they store emotional memory. This display. Now, every time we recall a memory, emotional are reactivated. Our cells build an emotional connection to the memory. A symbol, for symbol. Public speaking, for example, often recall use relieved anxiety, or positively, it recall you the memory that you achieve, you know, in public speaking in an event. Now, it's a physiological loop that learning to calm yourself. At the time when you feel nervous and you calm yourself to rewind this response. And this response comes from this amygdala. So the process so that when we think about that memory again, the emotional is reactivated and that will send throughout our body. And this emotion would impact or affect, you know, physically on our body. So that we can see emotional cellular signal. in your phone, you see the signal that translate information into physical reality. So the mind and the body are inseparable. So emotional intelligence is recognizing in ourselves an order and managing them effectively, is integrate our thought, feelings, and behavior. So what we think, what we feel, what we think, our brain, that would impact into our body, and it will lead to the way we behave. And then in positive way, it would lead to better outcomes. So when we integrated that into the importance for leadership and teamwork, that's really, really important. So if we think positively about our friend, our followers, our leader, so at the beginning, that positive thinking would impact on how we behave to him and how we try to collaborate and communicate together. So that the connection between emotional intelligence and leadership, and yes, and so what so far we know about recognizing our phone feeling, recognize the feelings of other we discussed before. But now the new things that we can see is about the motivating part, the motivation part of our brain, of our thinking for ourselves. And then managing emotion well in ourselves in would building better relationship. And the possession and use of the ability to integrate thinking, feeling, and behavior to achieve social talk, social tact, and outcomes, and value in the host context and culture. So we are going to bring our emotional in thinking, in feeling, and behavior to achieve the task that we want to achieve in our career or in our organization. Now, from the business sector, that's so 90% of top performers have high emotional intelligence, and EI is responsible for 58% of top performance. And people with high EI make more, $29,000 annually than the lower EI counterpart. It's amazing. So that the announcement from Yale School Management MBA program when they testing applicants for emotional intelligence. Now there's some fact about EI, there's some fact that I want to share with you. Now, EI is not about being nice, or being kind, being good, that's very general term for EI. Now, it's about managing emotional constructively. So it grows with maturity, experience, and practice. Now, men and women are equally, generally equal in total emotional intelligence. So that's the fact. We sometimes think that women have more emotion than men, but it's just a myth. It's wrong. It's a fact, evidence that scientific research already prove that we're equal. And EI doesn't mean being nice, as I told you, nor does it mean letting your feeling have free reign. No, we don't just let our emotion as the way it is. We don't just be ourselves emotionally without management, right? We can't say that's to be ourselves, to be myself. And I can get angry at any time. I can sound loud at any time. And I can feel negative about people any time. No, we don't want to be that person. So we want to learn. And emotional intelligence can be learned and enhanced with maturity, experience, and exercises. Okay? So we can practice. We already discussed what are the arguments between emotional intelligence or just IQ, EI and IQ. Some experts claim that EI is more powerful than IQ. Matters try as much as IQ or is the best predictor of success in life. What your thought about it? I'll try this. We used to think, we used to discuss that about EI, emotional intelligence, more important than intellectual intelligence. Like 80% of people with emotional intelligence will be more successful than others. Is that true? Is that true? Okay, what's your thought about it? I would try to open this YouTube. Let's see.
A few minutes when I gloat over the failure of this enterprise, how would you prefer I do it? The standard I told you so? With a classic neener neener? Or just my normal look of haughty derision?
So, there's the Big Bang Theory, and then I will let you to watch this and would answer. It's very short movie. Hello everyone. Oh, I see now 6 participants now. That's so far so good, better than at the beginning. Yeah. Now let's see. It's a Big Bang Theory. Big Bang Theory. And what is the relation to the Big Bang Theory to our emotional intelligence theory? Okay. That's the question.
In a few minutes, when I gloat over the failure of this enterprise, how would you prefer I do it? The standard I told you so? With a classic neener neener? Or just my normal look of haughty derision? You don't know we're wrong yet. Haughty derision it is.
Excuse me? I'm Amy Farrah Fowler, you're Sheldon Cooper.
Hello, Amy Farrah Fowler. I'm sorry to inform you that you have been taken in by unsupportable mathematics designed to prey on the gullible and the lonely. Additionally, I'm being blackmailed with a hidden dirty sock.
If that was slang, I'm unfamiliar with it. If it was literal, I share your aversion to soiled hosiery. In any case, I'm here because my mother and I have agreed that I will date at least once a year.
Interesting. My mother and I have the same agreement about church.
I don't object to the concept of a deity, but I'm baffled by the notion of one that takes attendance.
Well, then you might want to avoid East Texas.
Noted. Now, before this goes any further, you should know that all forms of physical contact up to and including coitus are off the table.
May I buy you a beverage?
Tepid water, please.
Good God, what have we done?
Yeah, we watch again. Now, there's some question that I will share you now. I will share you now to let you direct your thinking for answering the question from this short video, how it's related to emotion management. Okay. What I'm gonna do, I would yeah. Would add here in the chat box, you know, in the chat box. Yes, in the chat box, I share you like around 10 questions. Is would ask you what emotional was shown in the scenes. Now, can you describe the situation and how the character expressed the emotion? And which character struggle the most to express or understand emotion and why? So there are two people out there. Now that, and you may go on to I didn't send it right. Send. Oh, it to too many words to show. Yeah. So, and how did body language and tone of voice help you identify the character's emotion? And was there, question number 4, were there any misunderstanding of emotion between the characters, two characters there? What causes? And how this cultural or personality different influence how emotional were expressed? And if you were in the same situation, the character that you see in the shock video, how would you have responded emotionally? And how may emotional intelligence skill have changed the outcome of the scenes? And number 9, can you think of a real life example where emotional were misunderstood in communication? And do you think the humor in the scenes depend on the audience understanding emotional cue, and why or why not? And what strategy could someone like Sheldon use to better recognize and respond to other emotions? It's up to you. I've just sent you 10 idea to consider and to discuss if you're interested in. Now we would watch the video again, okay?
In a few minutes, when I gloat over the failure of this enterprise, how would you prefer I do it? The standard I told you so? With a classic neener neener? Or just my normal look of haughty derision?
You don't know we're wrong yet.
Haughty derision it is.
Excuse me? I'm Amy Farrah Fowler, you're Sheldon Cooper.
Hello, Amy Farrah Fowler. I'm sorry to inform you that you have been taken in by unsupportable mathematics designed to prey on the gullible and the lonely. Additionally, I'm being blackmailed with a hidden dirty sock.
If that was slang, I'm unfamiliar with it. If it was literal, I share your aversion to soiled hosiery. In any case, I'm here because my mother and I have agreed that I will date at least once a year.
Interesting. My mother and I have the same agreement about church.
I don't object to the concept of a deity, but I'm baffled by the notion of one that takes attendance.
Well, then you might want to avoid East Texas.
Noted. Now, before this goes any further, you should know that all forms of physical contact up to and including coitus are off the table.
May I buy you a beverage?
Tepid water, please.
God, what have we done?
So, okay, everyone. You can have some minutes to think about it and pick up any question that you want to answer on the list that I share with you in the chat box. Okay. Yeah, I'll give you some minute to think about it.
Hi, teacher. Can I go ahead and talk about question number 2?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Welcome.
Good evening, everyone. So the character that struggled the most to express or understand emotion was Sheldon. Sheldon,
Mhm.
because of his high emotional, high, because of his high intelligence, what's it called? Did not really feel like emotional intelligence
Yeah.
was important. And
Uh, I got a problem with hearing you. I don't know.
can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, I do.
Okay. So I said the character question number 2 says which character struggled the most to express or understand emotions and why? Sheldon Cooper was the character that struggled the most to express and understand emotions because of his high intellectual. He believes that everybody else should be fine with whatever he does. Everybody else should, the life should go on. He believes in just science and everything. So when he comes in contact with emotions, he doesn't know how to express it or how best to handle emotions. So he just blots out whatever comes up in his head and doesn't care about other people.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Anything else? Yeah.
Okay, and
Thank
also
you.
number 9. Can I answer number 9 as well?
Yes, yes, please.
Okay, so do I think the humor in the scene depends on the audience understanding emotion cues? Okay, yes, because there are so many. I'll explain. There are so many ways at which Sheldon got to express himself, but the humor in that scene was, if you really like understanding that scene as it has a backstory of when his friends were trying to get him to get into a relationship. So from that scene, you understand the humor. Okay, this is someone that doesn't want to do something, and then it came with someone that understands exactly how he thinks, someone that have the same emotional intelligence as him, someone that has the same IQ as he does. So that was like a very humor scene, and I loved it.
Yeah, I see. More idea? Oluwafemi Sola? So far, so good. Yeah, I really enjoy what you share. Do you have any more idea? Or we move to another speaker?
So no question number one. Okay,
Any-
so first question, then I feel like what emotions were shown in the scene, and can I describe the situation and how the character expressed those emotions?
Yeah.
Okay, so the emotions were shown were confusion. That's from his friend's part, that's Raj and the astronauts. They were confused, like, oh my god, what have they created? Another Sheldon, another dealing with a big baby. So they were like terrified. And Sheldon was how will I put it? He was, I'm trying to find the word. He was surprised because he never believed there's someone that has the same intelligence as he does, or someone that understands his humor like he does. So yes.
Yep. Yeah, great. It's a good explanation. Yeah, anyone want to say something that you are interested in? Any question that you want to answer? Or if you don't want to answer my question, you can have any idea that related to that short movie that you watch, and just tell me your idea.
Hello.
Hello.
Can I answer the three question number?
Yes, please.
You ask how did the body language and tones of the voice help you identify the kind of emotion? That's your question, and I think the body language and the tone of the voice are the key to human analyze for us. But both Sheldon and Amy have very radiation, almost robotic body language and flat and emotion tones like this. This emphasize their social awareness and their logic rather than emotional like approach to applying things. Sorry about that. My friend is Philippine besides
No
me and
problem.
you.
No problem. No problem. We are in real life, yeah. Everything can happen.
This emphasize their social awareness, the humor that comes from the contrast between is for the romantic cause of the day and their complete lack of them. They have they don't have any emotion like that. They like robotics and like that. Sorry about that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's like in the movie that you see Penny, slouch, butcher, shining, subtle voice indicate a sadness, and the Leonard, another character can learn forward and spoke gently, that showing the concern for each other, for the feeling of the people, the person that we are talking to. And Sheldon's steep posture and neutral tone showed his discomfort. It's very clear for us to feel, you know. Now, if someone low their voice, if someone got kind of tone, louder tone, you know, or even keep quiet, that show. Yeah, show their behavior. Thank you, Nalin Tate. So, anyone would talk? Interested in talking? Giving some idea?
Yes, I would like to answer number 8 questions.
Yes, please.
So, once I have witnessed situations back to my high school where a team leader gave very direct and serious feedback during a meeting. Some team members felt disappointed because the leader was angry in them. So the mood in the team became tense between the leader and the classmates. So there's a few people even start to avoid the leader. However, it turned out that the team leader wasn't upset at all. They just had a naturally serious tone and were trying to be efficient and clear. They later explains that they appreciate the teamwork, but very focused on helping improve results. So this misunderstanding happened because of a mismatch between tone and intent. So the leader didn't express positive emotions clearly, and the team read their serious style as negative. It shows how easily communications can go wrong when emotional cues aren't aligned or clearly expressed. That's one of my real life example. Thank you.
Thank you, Elias. Yeah, very honest. Yeah, very inspiring, you know, and a good lesson to learn from. Thank you so much.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, Tin Lai, please.
I would like to answer number 7.
Yeah.
Yes. For me, if emotional intelligence case had been shoot in that scene, the outcome could have been very different. For instance, if Sheldon had recognized Penny's facial expressions and tone of voice as sign of sadness, he could have responded with empathy instead of just follow a routine. Instead of authoritative right way, he might ask, do you want to talk about it, or simply said, I'm sorry that happened to you, or like that. From my own experience, I remember a time when my friend was feeling down, and instead of trying to fix the problem or get advice, I just listened. That small adult understanding helped her feel spotted, I think. So for me, emotional intelligence, like being aware of others' feelings and responding with empathy, can create more meaningful connections and help people feel truly understand. Yes.
Yeah. Thank Tin Lai. Yeah, for sure. I can also feel that too, you know. Yeah, that we can see the comedy come from the audience seeing the emotional disconnect between the two characters in order and then recognize the gap, and then if we can learn about the gap, then we would express ourselves better, and understand others better. Thank you. Okay, anyone else? Can we have a short discussion?
Okay, I will go with the critical thinking portion, question number 10.
Yes.
What strategies could someone like Sheldon use to better recognize and respond to others' emotion? Strategies include, I believe strategy should include practicing active listening. Okay, and then also understand others' feelings to confirm the understanding between and to understand other people feeling better. And I should also build empathy through, and I mean the strategy should also build empathy through role-playing exercise, observing social interaction that help to decode cues like the tone from speeches and body language. So through this journaling, that we can actually have journal different emotional responses to daily different events, so that to enhance self-awareness, while we can also seek feedback from friends that can guide the adjustment. And over this time, we can transform the rigid logic into more flexible, and of course we be more responsive towards emotions engagement, so that this can reduce misunderstanding in relationship. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Princess. Okay. Anyone more discussion, or all of you seem to talk, right? Lix seem to be busy. Okay, so if you want to talk, we continue to discuss later. Now I would share my presentation again. So then give you more theory for discuss in real life, So that say emotional intelligence is not opposite of intelligent, normal intelligence, or intellectual intelligence. It's not the triumph or heart of the head. So you see the unique intersection of both. So for this discussion, we don't try to differentiate between emotional intelligence, EI, and EQ and IQ, right? Now, emotional intelligence skill work together and build on one another. This begin with self-awareness, as we discussed at the beginning of our course. For the first day, we discussed about self-awareness. Now from self-awareness, that would lead to self-regulation, yes, self-regulation, and this would up to the level of social skill that we can learn. So the self-awareness would include the emotional awareness and accurate self-assessment and self-confidence, For example, a leader who admit their mistake during a failed project would gain team trust through accurate self-assessment. Now, even we fail, and we know that we fail, and we accept that we fail, and we gain respect of our followers based on our self-assessment and based on our honest, right? So that important. So knowing our emotion and the effect is crucial. People with the skill know how feeling drive the behavior. So I show you about the 3 levels of emotional awareness, and it will lead to accurate assessment, and it leads to self-confidence because the courage that comes from certainty about our capacity, our values, and our goal. And we can see the strength and the limitation of ourselves as a leader, and we have a clear vision, and we see the area needed improvement and ability to learn from our experience, whether it's failure or success, right? Now, emotional awareness that show people with this competent know which emotion they feeling and why, and realize the link between feeling and what they think, do, and say. Then recognize how feeling affect performance and have a guiding awareness of values and goals. This come from the research of Goldman 2000, you know. And now I continue. I want to show you this YouTube video also. Just wait for me. It isn't about. I'll show you later. Okay. Now we've moved on to values and commerce. Now to discuss about values and commerce, that we can understand that when our emotions spike in commerce, now it's often a result of our value being changed, you know, and our values often trigger emotional response in commerce. And if someone violates our core values, our emotional spike. Now, for example, leaders who value transparency may feel anger when excluded from a decision. Now, if your values, core values, is integrity or honesty, then if someone lies to you, then you can't forgive him or her ever, you know. So this means that you are aware of strength and weakness, that you self-regard, accurate self-assessment, knowing your inner strength, you know, and limit and reflect, and you can seek feedback and stay open to grow. For example, when in annual review, 360-degree feedback provide insight on how others perceive your leadership. That would be very important. Then after that, you do self-assessment, that able to show, you know, your perspective about yourself. And from listening to feedback, that you open to grow when you get new perspective, and always learning, you know, continuous learning is the kind of agile leadership that we discussed last week, on Wednesday. So the continuous learning capacity is very important, included in the way how you assess your capacity. Now for self-confidence, that's a strong sense of oneself worth and capabilities. Now, three people, if you are among of them, you can present yourself with self-assurance and present, you know. Confidence means presenting with assurance and acting decisively. It's concerned from knowing your value and strength, because we know our strength, our value, so we become very strong in our decision making in anything we do. So voice view that are unpopular and go out on a limb for what's right. And we are very, very decisive, that we able to make self decision despite uncertainty and pressure. The self-confidence in terms of in relation with emotional. So that what we are going to do, we are going to build a strong foundation. So I am what I am, yes. I am what I am doesn't mean that I am the same version of myself every day. So I am what I am mean that I keep my core value and I self-assess, self-rate it, and improve and continue learning after self-awareness, after self-assessment, and many assessment help us to understand ourselves better. Then because of that, self-awareness help us understand our leadership style also, as well as emotional tendency, the tendency that we should learn. And we can have some of the tool like MBTI or Strength Finder help individual better and lead themselves and order. Let me check for this video if it's here.
Our spam filter became self-aware. It rewrote our business plan. It wants us to build an army of indestructible robots. And the new org chart is out. It looks like you report to the microwave.
Step into Wig Studio, the platform for agencies and enterprises. Kick off projects in a workspace.
I'm sorry, it's a little bit noisy here. Just wait a little bit.
Then I was my grandmother, a chick.
It's okay now here, everyone. I'm sorry. I've got a very big noise outdoor. Now it's fine now. Quiet. Okay. Now let's show you this cartoon. It's really worth to watch. Okay. Cartoon. Who you are. So this about understanding yourself and the values and the strength of yourself.
Why, when things seem to go well, suddenly, without warning, They stopped working. Questions. Questions that rarely have answers. And all they do is increase the uncertainty. How much does luck have to do in all this? But actually, in a second, everything can change. Is it true when they say that if a door is closed, a window opens? Life, at times, seems to be driving itself. It turns, changes pace. How much do we really influence those changes?
It's 9:15. How am I already underwater?
I'm in the same boat.
I'm in an actual boat.
I thought Grammarly just fixed grammar. They make boats now?
It's more of a metaphorical boat, because I've been using Grammarly's AI for years to keep me high and dry. Try it. Grammarly can look through your writing to make it easier to understand. See? Shorter.
Whoa.
Clearer.
Cool.
And better. Now people will get what you're trying to say, and you won't be flooded with confused emails.
Can you do mine?
No problem. Your writing's good, but your word choice is...
Who am I? I was the first child of parents who dreamed of a united and big family. And I got used to having more things than I needed. My way of answering them was to be the best in everything. I started looking for more independence. Writing allowed me to invent that place. One day, I decided to look further. I realized that there were many things I didn't know, like how to play guitar. Until one morning, I had a lucky accident. I met Beatrice. She was the first to see the things I had written. Beatrice showed it to Jack. Jack could not stop reading. Jack showed it to Celine. Celine was touched. She showed it to Professor Pingot. Professor Pingot didn't think the text was mine. He showed it to Mr. Connor. Mr. Connor owned a major publisher. And in that moment, everything started.
I wanted to tell you that the first edition is running out, and we're printing the second, and you're still in the ranking.
Yes? Good afternoon? Who are you?
Who am I? I grew up with my grandparents. I had a very happy childhood that faded away little by little. First my grandfather, then it was my grandmother, the chicken, the plant, and the dog's sight. The city seemed like a perfect place to start growing. It seemed. Things went well in Mr. Yusuf's greengrocer, until the very greedy could not bear I got hungry. By chance, I made a great hairdresser. The actress's boss of the next door theater went in the afternoons to ask for hair for their wigs. I would put it in a bag and take it to them.
Chấn động giới du học luôn nha. Sự kiện Edu UK vào tháng 10 này, siêu sự kiện học bổng của ISC.
It was several months until one day the main actress didn't make it to the final rehearsal. And I knew her text by heart. Stranger. Just thinking about it makes me want to tear myself to shreds. Then, the first text did not take long to prove me. And then the first payments to act. And the first investment, a bicycle. In the mornings, I use it to go to the theater school. And in the afternoons, I work delivering orders. Sir, I'm from Click Offices, home delivery.
Well, come in. Don't just stay there.
Don't worry, sir. You just have to sign the receipt.
Come in. I'm not used to signing standing up. It does not say what the box contains. Do you know?
I can tell you've never received a delivery. I have no idea. So many books. Are you a writer?
I've written something here and there.
Are you famous?
What is fame to you?
It seems to me something like the reverse of oblivion.
I once heard a writer say that fame is a spot on the tip of your nose. Everyone sees it, except you. I think you realize that you care when you look in the newspapers and you don't appear. When you go out to the streets and nobody greets you. I'm going to make coffee. Do you want one?
I don't know if that would be correct.
It will only be
5 incorrect minutes.
It's a colossal $240 billion universe where millions log in, play, and interact daily. And we are going to revolutionize that universe forever with Raijin. Raijin is rewarding gamers for doing what they love most. Playing video games. The most popular...
Okay.
And tell me.
What do you do?
Half the time, I am a delivery girl, and the other half, I am an actress. And in 2 weeks, we premiere a play, and for the first time, I have the leading role.
That's great.
Yes, everything has been like a dream. I still can't believe it. And you? What are you working on now?
In a kind of crisis, I would say. Things do not come to me. It's as if everything changed very suddenly. In a moment, I was so high that it changed my point of view.
And it happens that sometimes inspiration suffers from vertigo in heights. And she leaves without giving any explanation. And you stay blank. Time passed by, and my editor asked for explanations that I couldn't even give myself. Maybe everything was a sum of fortunate events. Maybe it was just being at the right time in the right place. Worst of all is that maybe I never even had any talent.
I have a confession to make. I know very well who you are. You probably don't even imagine, but your book was my only company for a long time. I read it many times. It was a great friend in difficult times. When I went to work at the delivery company, I fantasized about the idea that one day it would be my turn to deliver you something, and I could meet you in person. Sometimes you have to help luck a little bit. I also wanted you to know that the text of the play I told you about is mine, and it's inspired by your book. I hope you don't mind.
No, no. I of course not.
I had to tell you what your book means to me. Well, I have to go. I won't take up more of your time. Thanks for the conversation and coffee.
You're welcome. It was very nice. I would love to see you. Go see you. To the premiere of your play.
Of course. You have to see it. I'll send you an invitation.
Don't raise dragons right off the bat. For new players, at the start of the game, don't rush to raise dragons.
Hey! There's nothing in the box!
Are you sure? Look again. Maybe this time you have luck.
So, so that about the movie, and yes, there's a meaning behind the films, so that we can see that the central question is who am I or who you are. So then it's invite us to reflect on our identity, right? Values and life direction. And it's also, I think, it touch on the theme of growth and resilience and self-acceptance. Now, the scene where the character step out of the dark and enclosed space into the open and colorful work stood out because it symbolized breaking free from the limitation and embarrassing possibility. Now, how did the concept of identity portray through the visual and narration of the movie? Now, the characters try on different roles and experience challenges, illustrating that self-discovery is a process that's shaped by exploration, mistake, and personal choice. Okay. Now, the emotional that evokes curiosity, hope, and empathy, and the moment the characters seem lost but keep moving forward and impactful because it reflects the universal feeling of uncertainty in life. So there always uncertainty out there in our life, and we don't know. You know, we may ask ourselves who we are in the way that change how we see ourselves. Now, for example, during our first year of university, we question whether we pursue in our degree for ourselves and to meet our parent expectation. You know, that reflection gonna help us make decision align with with our own passion, but also, you know, to make people around us to feel proud of ourselves. So the box, you know, that you see the box in that symbolize our comfort zone, you know, the box, our comfortable box in our home, in our school, in our same career, you know, and this our family reputation, that social labeling our effort to step out or to think out of the box. So our limitation imposed by other, and we can see that she left the box representing for him to step into the unknown, and then creating his own path, you know, to remove the labels that people label for him. So the film suggests we can deal with the uncertainty. We close our door in our life. That the advice. So is inspire us to move forward, embrace change, you know, what she trying to say, stay open to new opportunity even if the path is unclear. So take risk sometime, you know. Now we a adult, we as worker, we as manager, we are student, professor, you know, engineer, marketing, expertise. You know, we on face with the online influence that shape our identity. When we look at the website, when we look at the Facebook on internet, you know. So we seem to label ourselves. So the film messages us to encourage us to find our own voice rather than simply adopting the definition of others of who we should be. So I would have two questions for you now. Two questions. Now, if you were to make a short movie, you know, a film that title who you are, then what would be the message or story you want to share? So if you were the characters in the movie, a documentary movie that you make for yourself, what message or story would you want to share? You want to share something? Just a short, you know, reflective speech that express your current understanding of who you are, your values, your strength, your messages to the world. So I'm waiting for you to think about yourself and share your story if you want to. let's see everyone. We're going to take we're not going to take a break, you know. We are going to finish our discussion tonight by 8. So we don't need a break. It's weekend. I'm going to post the lecture or the slide that I presented to you for the last 3-4 weeks on Google Classroom. Yes. And also check attendance for you. Someone remind me about attendance check. Yes, I check for all of you. It look like Jolati Let's remind me about attendance check. So if you don't have any story to share, you know, if I may continue, but I would think about, you know, if a story that I want to be a character in a movie that could be traveling through different country that represent value and experience and the relationship that I have and share in my career path through the choice that I made to contribute for education for Samuel and for a moment that I can express myself in. Sometimes it's very bright, you know, sometimes it's a shadow that's shaped by myself, my experience as well as people I love. And sometimes I take risk, you know, the risk I've ever taken in my life, and this can be a lesson I've learned. I'm not finished yet. I'm on way learning and I'm still becoming. So becoming someone that I truly want to become. That there's no age, you know, to improve, continuously to grow. That's what I think. Yeah. Now let's have a look back here. And wait for me just some minute to open new presentation. Yeah. So we move to the last part about a discussion today about the inch of self-awareness. Then in research that show there are 3 important aspects of self-awareness. A inch, you know, the inch technique with intuition, I for intuition, and for now, and S for self-talk. What's about? Now, why intuition? Why intuition? Now, at the heart of self-awareness, self-awareness is the foundation of our understanding about ourselves, and also the foundation for all of others' emotional intelligence competency. Have you ever heard about intuition? And have you ever experienced, a time when your tuition is very, very true? Is the right thing that you feel, and that come from, the very central part of your brain. Inspire you inside. And then sometimes you don't know why you got that kind of feeling. So that the ability to understand or knowing something immediately without conscious reasoning at all is from your unconscious mind. Now, often this feeling described as a gut feeling, or the inner scene that guides decision making. The decision making as the term that you draw on the patterns your brain has learned over time from experience, emotion, and subconscious memory. Yeah. Example, you may choose to avoid a business deal because something feels off even when all the numbers look fine. Later finding out the partner was untrustworthy. This is about your feeling, your intuition. So it's related to your self-awareness. We discussed our self-awareness. I got two parts. Internal self-awareness. It means we understand our own thought, feelings, strength, weakness, and the triggers. And external self-awareness, that we understand how others see ourselves and how other behavior impact our behavior and attitude. Now, realize that we tend to get defensive when given feedback and actively working to stay open instead. So there's always the connection between intuition and awareness. In practice, you see, a self-aware person like you, I hope so, and me, I believe so, may feel an intuitive hesitation about a decision. And we pause to reflect on whether it's based on our fear, our bias, or genuine insight, and we take a balanced choice. Okay, so tuition work best when you know yourself, and self-awareness help you distinguish between a genuine gut feeling and the emotional bias. Yeah. Now using our knower, there's another technique. Now knower, literally a feeling in the embodiment telling us, something doesn't feel right. Yeah. The knower. And any story about intuition on your job? Now the knower, where your knower, where are the knower inside you? Something you don't feel right at all, Now, who is the knower? Now, the knower is the cells, you know, in the cell, and that's it aware. The knower is yourself, your T cell. You know about yourself. That is the observer of your thought. Is an observer. When you practice mindfulness, you would consider the knower, the observer, who can understand about what you are thinking, what you are feeling now, and you have another version of yourself, you know, another mediator of yourself that show you your experience and your feeling. Now it's the part of you that say, I know it. I know it. And even before you can explain why, you just know it immediately, you know. Now in mindfulness or self-reflection, the knower is something called the inner witness or the observing self. Yeah. Then the knower is the agent. That you miss someone, for example, you miss someone new, and the knower send the trustworthiness or caution even before you have spoken to him much, you know. Now, why the knower matter? For intuition. Without self-awareness, without self-observer, without your knower, you know, can be clouded by bias or fear or making intuition unreliable. Now, so you would train your knower. Through your reflection, mindfulness, and critical thinking can better separate, you know, the true intuitive insight from emotional reaction. So in education, the knowledge like the theory of knowledge leadership training, for example, that the knower is central to explore how do we know what we know. Yeah. How do we know? How do you know what you know? And the knower would explain that for you. So it's kind of very hard to explain it to you, but I believe you understand it and what I'm trying to say around here. Now, the quick fact is about gut feeling, okay? Now, the gut feeling referred to by scientists as a second brain that located in our abdomen. Yeah, it is like Aka, intuition or wisdom of everyone else. And only him or her would understand about it, would have that experience, and no advisors, no advisor can give the best advice for himself. So then is the gut feeling of the Aka and intuition and your wisdom composed of millions of neurons. It's originated from the neural crete, same as your brain, you know. So that be aware, someone say there are more, you know, brain number 3. Now, the brain 3 is in your heart. And there's always the connection between your heart and your head and your stomach, your gut. And it certainly is reflect and react, you know, as quickly as you can imagine how you make that decision. So the brain 3 in the heart, in your heart. The fact. Now the brain 3 in the heart, the brain 3 would show that the head brain, logical thinking, reasoning, and analysis. The heart brain is emotion, values, and relationship. And the gut brain would be instinct, survival, the gut feeling. You facing with danger, you immediately, react. That's a gut feeling. So now for intuition, we need to learn to trust it, and trust is often, think about time your intuition told you something and you didn't listen to, and what stopped you. Example, you feel regretful that you didn't make that decision and you fail, or you succeed, is because you got a very good gut feeling and intuition decision making. Now, when we don't listen, it's usually because we're trying to please others instead of ourselves. So remember that we've got our head to think, we have our heart to feel, and we have our gut to act, So the head for our clarity. The head for our clarity about things, and the heart for humanity, for love, for compassion, and the gut for action, what triggered to take action. So decision-making comparison that I would increase your practice masking decision with your intuition in various situations. For example, for 1 week, from now until next week, we meet again. For example, when you make decision, write down your gut decision and then write down your rational decision. When did you make decision? Which restaurant you are going to go for eating on the weekend, or whom are you going to go dinner with on the weekend? So your gut decision is almost always and immediately respond that you know who are you going to go with and what kind of food or restaurant you are interested in. Then the rational usually follow after. You don't really, not many people got a list of friend or relative or partners that you want to share your weekend with. You always got someone in your mind immediately. You want to see that person, you want to spend time with that person immediately. So we don't really need rational or logical thinking. Which person will be the best, the second, the third priority? No. So if the gut and rational decision were different, write which one turned out better. Maybe difficult decision making, more challenging decision making can come from work decision making, not for family or for relative or for friendship. But if they were the same right now, how you feel about the result? Which kind of decision making that you make? Gut decision or rational decision? Now, challenge can be continued for you. This exercise will help you in touch with your intuition for greater self-awareness, that learning to trust your gut. Now, like Albert Einstein, he say, the intuitive mind is a scarce gift, and the rational mind is the faithful servant. So we have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. So remember that everyone got a gift in our heart that we were born, we've got that already in our blood, you know. So use it. Now I would discuss about the now and now. An emotionally intelligent person lives in the present or now. The body is the physical assemble of nowness. It can live the present, you know. Your mind and your heart can, but the body is stuck in the present. Now living in the now is often referred as to mindfulness. Be here and now immediately, as we discussed already. So that the advice, you know, that the advice for us to consider only real moment we have control over right now. What are you listening to? Where are you sitting now? Are you really focusing on the lesson? Or are you thinking about something else? So the now is represent you at the current time. Now, the power of now's got a power. It's in Buddhist mindfulness. It's about anchoring attention to what is happening here and right now. So the core principle, as we discussed before, if you remember, we full noticing our current thought, emotion, and sensation. For example, we know that, oh, it's very tired now. It's Friday, and I'm still in here talking to you, and you still sitting there and listen to me. And it's become tiring sometimes, and then we know about it. But it's acceptance. It's acceptance that we observe, that we know now we got a responsibility, that we are going to discuss some meaningful information on self-awareness, about knowers, about now, you know. So we observe this, not trying to change and not judge everything. And then we recognize how the mind, you know, gently return into now, because there's no better time than now. Now, how you practice that I already discussed with breath, with sensory scan, with talk labeling, we combine, you know, heart, brain focus, everything. So then remember that the now. So we are going to link the now to the knower, to our knower. Okay, remember our knower, our observer, ourselves as an advisor for our mental, physical, emotional health. We don't talk about mindfulness anymore. Now we talk about the last information, the last word that I want to share, self-talk. I know everyone know about it. Now that's about talking to yourself. Talk out loud. Do not believe naysayers who say crazy if you talk to yourself. No, you're not crazy. Now talking out loud enhance your ability to think by stimulating the scopus of, you know, conlogism, that our thinker. Now we know that we've got our knower, you know, our observer. Now we have a thinker in ourselves now to function on a much higher level. So we speak for ourselves. we depend on it to solve problem. We read, we write, motivate ourselves, and plan for the future, and learn from our mistake. Now it's used for self-regulation, steering attention, and we talk to ourselves, calming unruly emotion and proper etiquette. It's really a valuable source of motivation and confidence. So it's more important purpose to help us maintain a sense of self in everyday ongoing narrative of our life. So researchers suggest that to know yourself, to have to talk to yourself. And I know that you all know how to talk to yourself. But you may forget that, So started that before, for example, we learn new things, okay? So we should learn about ourselves before learning any kind of other knowledge or understanding, right? So speak to ourselves to activate the thinker of ourselves. So that's why when we discussion, and then I always ask you, think about something first, brainstorming. That's we activate our thinker. Now, Latins word. Now the word you speak are electromagnetic life force that come from a talk inside your brain and influenced by your five senses, right? So they contain power and work hand in hand with your thought life, influencing the world around you and the circumstances of your life. So words are energy, word language, with positive energy or negative energy, it's up to you. So word energy, word are weapon, word can kill people. Yes, words trigger emotional and physiological responses. Now, example, you've been told, I believe in you. So that can push your confidence. And hearing you will fail. If I say if a professor talk to the student, say, I am going to fail you, you're going to fail, then ability to pass the exam or the assignment, then you kill that kid from the beginning, create doubt inside him or her, So the brain releases chemical, a dopamine, cortisol, oxytocin. There's some kind of chemical inside respond to language. So language, word, got a purpose. So then we talk to someone, we think about the side of a purpose, of inspiration, encouragement, courage people or kill them, look them down, So we don't want. So positive talk to both to us and to others that strengthens resilience. So negative self-talk, like I'm useless, can lower self-esteem and motivation. So encouragement can energize and inspire, and criticism, especially if harsh, can deadlift emotion, energy, and motivation. So mindful communication is something that I would love to share with you, It's been choosing work that align with your values and intended energy. Now remember that self-talk needs to be powerful, personal, present, and positive. And this kind of self-talk can change our outlook and attitude. and use it for ourselves and also use it for people we respect. So then I would say the key takeaway for you today: institution, now, and self-talk. That was the food for our talk today for your emotional intelligence. Okay? Okay, everyone. Are you still there?
Yes, we are.
Yes, thank you so much. So I don't keep you longer. And I hope that you enjoy our discussion today. A nice weekend to you. I don't think there any homework for you. I only sent you the slide and the presentation on Google Classroom, and you can take it and download for your self-learning. Okay. And I would try to look at the assignment, the final assignment. No, I don't have a lot of assignment for you. I think we only need one presentation, one individual presentation, not a group presentation. I don't think we need to work in team because it's emotional intelligence and everyone got your own intelligence. I would do a group presentation, like a speaking assignment, and the final assignment would be a writing one. That's a good evidence to submit to the university. Okay, but I'll let you know. I give you the guidelines very soon. Thank you so much, everyone. May we stop here today. I'm happy to have you around, and nice weekend to all of you. Do you have any question?
None for now.
Thank you so much, teacher.
Thank you so much.
Have a good night.
Have a nice weekend. See you next week. Okay, Wednesday.
Yes, teacher.